This is a public service announcement from the Fuel Rats. Please stop what you're doing and pay attention. If we can rescue you, we will, but you can help us help you by following these easy steps. 1. Fly 50 light seconds or so from the system's main star and drop out of supercruise. 2. Note down the current system and the nearest stellar body. 3. If you're on emergency life support, log out immediately. 4. Go to fuelrats.org and click Get Help. 5. Stay calm, hold your breath, and let our seasoned professionals do what they do best. The Fuel Rats. We have fuel, you don't. Any questions?
Galnet News Digest, 28th of April 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, Zach Rackham protests a little too hard about his ancestral homeland in Beta Hydri. Sirius vows to defend the Alliance from Thargoids, but is a little bit too busy planning things right now. The Kumu crew has a brand new Arch Corsair, and the Alliance pays for a voluntary deportation scheme to move refugees to the new Marlinist colonies. And not a word about damaged starports.
Outsized personality Zachary Rackham has been making outsized claims about the benefits he has brought to his homeworld, amid conspiracy theories that he might not be from the Federation at all. The entrepreneur and director of Rackham Capital Investments has been buying shares in Beta Hydri Corporation, which runs the Beta Hydri system, and has been the de facto managing director of the system for several months. His publicity team has been speaking of him giving back to the planet homeland, where they claim Rackham was born. Giving back in this context includes building a huge tower, Rackham's Spire, above the city of Los Pioneros, quite literally casting a huge shadow over the city, as well as taking over MacArthur Mining and rebranding the Lux Sumptuous hotel chain as Rackham's Rooms. Some independent observers feel that Rackham may be positioning himself as a potential outsider candidate in the 3309 presidential race. The pro-Hudson Bertha movement claims that Rackham, previously believed to have been the pirate known as Calico Zack, was not born in the Federation at all, but instead hails from an independent anarchy system, something that would rule him out from becoming president. Although being a pirate might show him to be a more upstanding character than the incumbent, President Hudson.
After Sirius failed to prevent the attack on Didio, and after the Alliance chose a non-Sirius admiral to lead the response, the corporation has insisted that it's right in choosing to leave the Alliance to handle the tactical aspects of dealing with the actual Thargoid attack on one of its systems, while Sirius holds meetings about the long-term strategy and encourages Alliance fighters to work for salvation instead. Didio was invaded by Thargoids last Thursday, along with the Imperial Novas and the Federal Sosong systems. There are indications that the Thargoids had intended to attack starports in each of the three systems, but that something went wrong with the Thargoids' caustic weaponry. The Thargoid High Command has expressed its embarrassment at the mix-up, and Tharg the Mighty has vowed to come back to do the job properly later this week. Despite this advance notice, there seems to be no desire for preemptively evacuating the stations in the three systems. Sirius failed to anticipate the attack on the Alliance system, and it's failed to deliver a megaship to assist in the fighting there. The Alliance has appointed its experienced Admiral Rachel Ziegler to lead the response in Didio, rather than the Sirius Corporation's anti-Xeno specialist, Nicholas Glass. Glass insisted that this in no way undermines Sirius's role in defending the Alliance. He said that during its trial period, Sirius would be concentrating on seconding more resources to the megaships operated by Taurus Mining Ventures on behalf of Salvation. He did not specify whether these resources would be from the Alliance, from Sirius, or from both. But it begins to seem that, like the three superpowers, Sirius is planning to leave fighting the Thargoids to Salvation.
The sovereign ruler of the Kumo nation, Archon Delane, has appointed the son of Soulless Salamanca to the inner circle of the Kumo Council. Formed of so-called corsairs, the Kumo Council jointly rules over the pirate kingdom of the Pegasi sector, using a system of delegated responsibility that allows pirating to be achieved in an ergonomic and cost-effective manner, thus ensuring the best possible capital returns for shareholders. With the appointment of Callan Salamanca, whose father died suddenly and most regrettably after a minor disagreement with Delane, the inner circle of arch corsairs, which develops and maintains the corporate strategies for long-term growth and prosperity while maintaining the buccaneering heritage that sets the kingdom apart from other, less distinctive powers, now consists of 4 members: Callan Salamanca, Archon Delane himself, Administrator Vidar Trask, and Kay Valentine, who joined the Kumo Council from the Blue Viper Club in July last year. Valentine was instrumental in negotiating a working relationship between the Dredger clan and Delane's Kumo Council, one which has prospered on the production and distribution of Onionhead Gamma Strain. New arch corsair Callan Salamanca has a reputation for being impulsive and hot-headed. There is some speculation that with Salamanca already abusing the authority Delane has conferred on him, the moderating influence of the Kumo Council on Delane's own excesses may be less effective. It is unclear at this stage what effect, if any, this will have on the pirate kingdom.
The Alliance Assembly is to provide free transportation to the estimated 2 million Marlinist refugees that are still in Alliance space. With the Marlinist colonies now well established and with guarantees of independence from the Empire, there seems little reason for Alliance factions to continue supporting these refugees charitably. The repatriation flights have been agreed with the Marlinist consulate, with the new arrivals to be given freedom to choose which system to settle in, and with a promise of full citizenship. There will, however, be screening for potential terrorists, as agreed with the Empire. With 2 new starports being established, the Marlinist colonies are hopeful that they may be able to expand into neighbouring systems over the coming year. Marlinist First Minister Olivia Volkov revealed that there are more than 1 million more Marlinists living in diaspora across the core systems. She called for them to contact the consulate to qualify for relocation and citizenship, and to become part of the Republican experiment that is the Marlinist colonies.
As 2 starports are attacked by Thargoids, the superpowers have admitted their defence against the Thargoids is merely buying time for Salvation to develop his newest superweapon, and Sirius has appealed for humanitarian aid while it awaits permission to engage the Thargoids. The attacked starports are Zanibekov Station in the Sosong system and Lauma Orbital in Didio. Stations in the Imperial Novas system all appear to have escaped attack. The humanitarian support being provided by Sirius is exclusively for the Didio system. Sirius has appealed for evacuation shelters, basic medicines and food cartridges to be taken to the Chariot of Rhea in Listi, whence the aid will be conveyed to those in need. CEO Li Yongri has indicated that he is neither obligated nor inclined to help those affected by the Thargoid incursions in the Imperial Novas system, nor the Federal Sosong system. The Alliance Defence Fleet is nominally fighting the Thargoids in Didio, with the Imperial and Federal navies attempting to defend Novas and Sosong. In practice, the combat is being left to independent pilots in all 3 systems. A spokesperson for the Joint Military Command has indicated that their strategy is not to drive the Thargoids back, but to hold the line, while they await the latest and greatest of secretive scientist Salvation's anti-Xeno megaweapons. Salvation has estimated a further 2 weeks to complete development and construction of 3 such devices. For the next 2 weeks, anti-Xeno pilots are urgently required in all 3 recently attacked systems. To encourage this activity, combat bonds will attract a premium and an additional reward structure when handed in by active participants at the megaship Plymouth Howell in the Ch'Anji system, at Sturko Orbital in the Leshima system, and at Nuslin Volhard settlement in the Zlota system. Capital-class ships have been deployed to each system suffering incursion. The allied megaship Saloti Charm is in Didio, the Majestic-class interdictor INV Succession is in Novas, and the Farragut-class battlecruiser FNS Amphion is in Sosong. Commanders are urged to visit these flagships to hear stirring interviews with the commanders of the 3 naval initiatives, Admiral Rachel Ziegler, Admiral Henry Paul Atherton, and Admiral Maxton Price, respectively. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.
Choose life, choose a ship, choose a career, choose a cargo, choose a fucking big ship, choose palladium, gold and electrical tin openers. Choose good health, low cholesterol and ship insurance, choose fixed interest loan repayments, choose a space station, choose your friends. Choose leisure wear and matching luggage, choose a paint job and hire purchase in a range of fucking colours. Choose decals, exploration and wondering where the f*** you are on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting in that chair, running mind-numbing, spirit-crushing trade routes, stuffing f***ing junk food in your mouth. And choose rotting away at the end of it all, pissing your last in the void with no one out there to hear you, bury or do anything as you drift away in cold space. Until some comes along to steal your ship, your cargo and your clothes, leaving your bones floating out in space. Choose your future. Choose life. But why would I want to do a thing like that? I choose not to choose life. I chose something else. And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got onion heads?
The journalist Jade Sanderlin of Vox Galactica was recently invited to conduct rare public interviews with the 3 admirals in charge of the Imperial, Federal and Alliance task forces that are fighting back against the Thargoid incursions in Novas, Sosong and Didio respectively. This first excerpt is from a conversation with Admiral Henry Paul Atherton of the Empire.
This is Jade Sanderlin reporting for Vox Galactica. I am sitting with Admiral Henry Paul Atherton of the Imperial Navy. Thank you for agreeing to this interview, Admiral.
Oh, please, call me Henry.
I'd be delighted to. This is a very impressive ship, Henry.
Some might say majestic. Yes, the succession is a wonderful vessel.
How long have you commanded?
An honor to have my name listed on the succession's exemplary service record.
You were promoted to Admiral only 3 years ago. Does that change the personal dynamic with your crew at all?
Well, they salute a little faster, I suppose. Happily, I enjoy a strong relationship with my officers, so they took the change fully in stride.
Let's talk about Novus. I understand that the Imperial Navy has deployed a fleet here at Salvation's request.
That's correct.
Emperor Orissa recently resumed her duties following an extended absence from the throne. Having now surely been briefed on Salvation's work, does the Emperor endorse Salvation?
If the Emperor had objections, her navy would not be in Novas.
What are your objectives in the system?
Well, in case it has gone unnoticed, there is a major Thargoid invasion occurring here. It is our duty to protect civilian populations and prevent the loss of strategic assets.
I'm pleased that you mentioned civilian lives first. Does Salvation share this approach?
Almost certainly. Why else would he invest so much effort into his marvelous superweapon if not to protect people?
Some have claimed that Salvation prioritizes victory over safety.
Jade, dear, they are the same thing. The cost of war is human lives, and the Thargoids extract a heavy toll. Every invaded system, every burning starport, every ambushed convoy, every ship lost to hyperspace. We have repeatedly driven the Thargoids back from our space, but the wretched things keep returning. That cost grows each day. Salvation's superweapon has proven effective at wiping Thargoids from entire systems at a stroke. If Salvation calls that victory, while you and I call it saving lives, then I'm comfortable with the difference in perspective.
Thank you for elaborating. Let's take a break. We'll be back after these messages.
Vox Galactica.
Welcome back. I'm here with Admiral Atherton of the Imperial Navy. Henry, I wanted to get your thoughts on Aegis. Has the disbandment of that organization had any effect on the anti-Thargoid efforts?
Yes, I would say that's a fair assessment.
In what way?
Aegis defense pilots were skilled at engaging Thargoid ships. That experience was valuable to the younger pilots defending Imperial territory.
Are you disappointed that Aegis is gone?
I think so. Yes, despite Aegis's faults, and it certainly had those, the initiative achieved much over the years. Also, Albert Tesro is a delightful individual. Have you had the pleasure?
No, I have not spoken with Professor Tesro. I hope to soon, though.
She has worked as hard as anybody to improve our understanding of the Thargoids. That dedication was reflected in Aegis's work. Poorly managed, it may have been, but it was certainly not poorly led.
Did you follow the news of the Alexandria wreckage discovery in recent months?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any comments to share?
The loss of the Alexandria is tragic, of course. A ghastly turn of events.
Has there been any attempt to identify the perpetrators?
Not to my knowledge, but then I am not an intelligence officer.
The Alexandria's logs suggest Aegis's efforts were undermined by other parties, though.
Perhaps, but that event was not the sole reason for Aegis's disbandment. What's done is done. Our focus rests firmly on what is yet to do.
Which brings us back to Salvation.
Indeed it does. The Imperial fleet will provide Salvation with the time required to deploy his superweapon by engaging the Thargoid forces in this system. The people of Novas will see firsthand how effective Salvation's methods can be. I believe that this war has an end in sight.
I truly hope so. Thank you.
journalist Jade Sanderlin of Vox Galactica was recently invited to conduct rare public interviews with the 3 admirals in charge of the Imperial, Federal and Alliance task forces that are fighting back against the Thargoid incursions in Novas, Sosong and Didio respectively. This second excerpt is from a conversation with Admiral Maxton Price of the Federation.
My name is Jade Sanderlin, reporting for Vox Galactica. I'm here with Admiral Maxton Price on board the FNS Amphion in the Sosong system. I was very impressed with the tour of the ship prior to our interview, Admiral.
Can't say I'm surprised, Miss Sanderlin. Is this your first time on a Farragut-class battlecruiser?
Yes, it's one of the reasons I was so excited that my interview request had been granted. The Amphion just as impressive as I'd hoped.
That's gracious of you to say. Of course, the Farragut-class vessels value performance over aesthetics. It's a lesson our Imperial friends would do well to learn one day.
I take it then that you consider yourself utilitarian.
In military matters, what other philosophy is there? A sleek ship will turn heads and attract investors, but when something dangerous enters your space, most soldiers would choose a powerful response over a pretty one.
Which brings us to the current conflict in this system. The Federal Fleet has been asked to contain the Thargoid threat while Salvation prepares his anti-Xeno superweapon.
And I have no doubt that we will succeed. Federal military power is as strong as it's ever been. Funding provided by the Hudson administration over the past 7 years has allowed us to expand and modernize our fleet. It's a pleasant time to be an admiral.
I presume that you are in favor of Salvation's work.
Wholeheartedly. His results speak volumes to a man like me. The anti-Xeno superweapon has incredible range and devastating impact on Thargoid craft and is harmless to our own ships. What's not to like?
Aside from independent studies by the engineer Ramta, we have very limited information about the weapon. We also know nothing about its long-term effects on human physiology. Do you think there is any risk to the public?
Let me ask you a question, Miss Sanderlin. Do you think this hypothetical health risk poses a greater danger to the general public than a Thargoid fleet crawling through a populated system?
No, but...
No, it does not. I've seen what the Thargoids are capable of. It's impressive, it's scary, and it results in considerable loss of life, if not dealt with quickly. Salvation has proven he can achieve significant victories for an entire system. Timid hand-wringing over the future is fine with me once we've secured a future in which to do so.
Let's take a break for a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Vox Galactica.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm here with Admiral Price of the Federal Navy. We were just talking about Salvation's contributions to the Thargoid War. Do you believe he is a true replacement for Aegis?
Absolutely. Aegis hasn't been a factor in this conflict for some time. I've viewed them as an auxiliary force at best, a hindrance at worst.
Could you elaborate on that?
Where would you like to begin? Perhaps with the lack of concrete results for several years, or the over-reliance on independent pilots to fight their battles for them. Maybe the loss of the Alexandria and the valuable Guardian artifacts it carried.
The Alexandria was sabotaged.
Whatever the method, the outcome was the same. Poor decisions and bad leadership led to the Alexandria's loss. Look at the chief military liaison for Aegis, Aiden Tanner. The man tried to forcibly invade Salvation's allies over some wild conspiracy theory about illegal research. That's the kind of leadership we're talking about.
Aiden Tanner was formerly an admiral of the Federal Navy.
Never liked the guy. Bought into his own hype a little too much. Now he's in custody while a judge decides how long he'll spend in jail. The Federal Navy is better for it.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, Admiral. Before we wrap up, I was wondering if you'd asked for command of the fleet here in Sosong.
I did, yes.
May I ask why?
I felt the defense of Sosong was a high priority task and wanted to oversee matters personally.
This isn't the first time you've taken part in a Thargoid-related operation.
No, it isn't. At this stage of the war, any officer who lacks experience with Thargoid vessels is doing a disservice to the people they lead.
In 3302, you ordered Farragut-class battle cruisers to the Merope system soon after the discovery of Thargoid barnacle sites. It was claimed that independent vessels exploring the area were fired upon.
Claimed incorrectly, but yes.
It was reported that the JAG would open an inquiry into those claims, but no further details were ever released. Can you share the outcome of that investigation?
If the findings were worth a damn, you'd have heard about it. And if a crime had been committed, maybe I'd be sitting alongside Aiden Tanner in a jail cell. But instead, here I am, doing what I do best, protecting us from the Thargoids. Does that answer your question?
It sure does. Thank you for your time, Admiral Price. This has been an enlightening conversation.
I'm sure it has, Miss Sanderlin. I'll have someone escort you to your shuttle now.
That's kind of you. From the FNS Amphion in Sosong, this is Jade Sanderlin for Vox Galactica. Stay safe out there.
Vox Galactica.
Hi, Commander Kumar the Far here, and you're listening to Lave Radio. Up next is a track that I wrote based on a true story. It's called Pirates Took My Spaceship. Now, if you want to listen to more stuff that I've written, you can find that at soundcloud.com/KUMARTHEFFAR-1. Oh crap, the back!
ship.
Bar none.
We buy any ship.
Bar none. Any model, any colour, any shape, any size.
We buy any ship.
Bar none. We here at We Buy Any Ship Bar None are ready to take your excess space travel vehicles off your hands. No more negotiating with dodgy space station vendors. We'll simply give you an estimated quote online. Then, when you get here, we'll point out all the little dents and scratches that make the price get smaller and smaller before we actually give you any money. And the beauty is, we take any ship.
We buy any ship.
Bar none. Terms and conditions apply. We Buy Any Ship excludes trading in any of the following vehicles: Adder, Anaconda, Asp, Boa, Cobra, Constrictor, Cruisers, Eagle, Falcon, Gecko, Griffin, Gear, Harris, Harrier, Hawk, Kestrel, Crate, Lanners, Lifters, Lions, Mantis, Merlin, Moray, Osprey, Panther, Puma, Python, Saker, Sidewinder, Skeet, Spar, Stowmaster, Tearsel, Tiger, Transporter, Turner, Viper, Wyvern, or any Imperial or Cargo vessel.
The journalist Jade Sanderlin of Vox Galactica was recently invited to conduct rare public interviews with the 3 admirals in charge of the Imperial, Federal and Alliance task forces that are fighting back against the Thargoid incursions in Novas, Sosong and Didio respectively. This third excerpt is from a conversation with Admiral Rachel Ziegler of the Alliance.
This is Jade Sanderlin, reporting for Vox Galactica. I am here with Admiral Rachel Ziegler of the Alliance Defense Fleet. I'm pleased to have this opportunity to speak with you, Admiral.
You're welcome.
We're on board the Celote Charm, which is currently stationed in the Didio system. 2 days ago, a large Thargoid force arrived here and began attacking human ships and ports. There are reports that Salvation has asked your fleet and those of the other superpowers to hold the Thargoid force at bay until the...
Let me clarify your question before you finish it. My priority is the safety of the billions who call Didio home. We're not here to keep the Thargoid forces occupied. We're here to defeat them.
Understood, Admiral. Salvation has asked for time to prepare his superweapon, though.
Yes, he has. But the Alliance does not operate with the assumption that Salvation will deliver on his promise.
Do you support Salvation's methods? Critics have suggested he endangers lives by using a powerful weapon that has not been independently assessed by experts.
Whether I support or do not support Salvation is immaterial. The fact is, on 2 previous occasions, the superweapon has eliminated Thargoid fleets from entire systems. Rejecting such a powerful device would be unwise. Still, I think the question of risk is wholly appropriate. Military and political figures alike must not become complacent or over-reliant on Salvation's technology, particularly when we know so little about it.
Is that ambiguity a concern for the Alliance?
It should be a concern for everybody. So far, Salvation has acted in our best interests, but a weapon that powerful could be considerably dangerous if recalibrated to damage human technology. Imagine what the NMLA could have done with such a device.
Terrible things, no doubt. But your fleet in Didio could be seen as a tacit endorsement of Salvation by Allied leadership, regardless of your personal views.
As I said, Salvation's results are highly impressive.
Let's hope they remain so. We'll take a short break. Join us after these messages.
Vox Galactica.
Welcome back. I'm here with Admiral Ziegler of the Alliance Defense Force. I want to touch on the recent dissolution of the Aegis Initiative. Has that decision had any impact on the Thargoid War, in your view?
From a logistical standpoint? No, not really. Aegis vessels have been repurposed by skilled pilots. I know of several prominent colleagues who are displeased, however.
Can you elaborate on why?
Aegis research provided several notable contributions to the war effort. For example, meta-alloy studies gave us safe methods of storing Thargoid artifacts. Decontamination limpets increased ship survivability during Thargoid combat. Aegis also played a key role in the safe development and distribution of Guardian hybrid weapons technology. It remains to be seen who will lead such efforts now.
Critics have argued Aegis was poorly managed and achieved less than expected given the resources available to it.
Critics are going to focus on the negatives. That's why they're called critics. I'll bet you a Kobe beef supper these people have never encountered a Thargoid vessel in person.
Are you referring to the political aspect of Aegis disbandment? You've previously spoken out against decisions made by the Alliance Assembly.
Only the very poor decisions.
Does the end of Aegis fall under that category?
No, I don't believe so. The decision to end Aegis is understandable given the evidence presented in the Bauman report, even if I do not personally agree with it. My perspective has always been one of security. The ADF is a quickly mobilized fleet, but we lack the resources of the Federal and Imperial navies. Aegis improved the Alliance's ability to defend itself from a prolonged Thargoid invasion.
Sirius Corporation has offered to fulfill that role for the Alliance.
Yes, well, Sirius went about it very poorly.
Liang Rui has since recognized the lack of approval from the Assembly and appears keen to make amends. Does that sway your opinion at all?
I have no doubt that Sirius Core would improve the strength of the ADF long term, but let us not pretend that Mr. Yongrui's interest in the Alliance is altruistic. We'll see what he wants in return soon enough, I expect.
Admiral Ziegler, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Good luck in the coming conflict.
Well, thank you.
From the Salute Charm in Didio, this is Jade Sanderlin for Vox Galactica. Stay safe out there.
Vox Galactica.
welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
A show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machines technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 388 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that's around it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder Bar for this episode, we have our head of health and safety, who's actually busy at the moment, who will hopefully catch up with us later. So Ben Mosswood will be turning up later, but we also have our Inhuman Resources Director, Commander Shan.
Hello.
Hello. And also our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psykit.
Hello.
Hello. Right. So if you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in game, or we will be hanging out in game and open at the Orange at Lave Station at some point later. Like I said, it's being one of these horrible technical issue shows, as you could probably tell by the late start. So if you can't get to us in game, join us at the Twitch chat channel, where you can access us through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat and go to twitch.tv/laveradio or Facebook or YouTube or even Twitter, because we're live on all those as well. Right, so let's just quickly go around the team, see how everybody's been doing. We'll start with Commander Shan.
Okay. On the weekend, Mrs. Shan and I went to Fully Charged Live on the Saturday, which was glorious sunny weather. And Fully Charged Live is like an expo for all things sustainable energy and electric vehicles and cars and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'll speak more about that next week. But we came home to something quite worrying, really. And it's still ongoing, so I'll share that for a minute. It was our youngest kitten was very lethargic, almost as if his batteries had run out when we got back on Sunday, and he wasn't eating at all. So we sort of think, well, okay, a bit hot, maybe whatever. So we saw how he was on Monday, and he was still like his batteries had run out, just flat. So we took him to the emergency vet, where he has been diagnosed with lily poisoning. What happened was Mrs. Shan was given some flowers for her birthday and lilies, and the pollen had got loose, and Cat had walked around in pollen and licked its paws. So poor kitten is now clinging to life at the Royal Veterinary Hospital, where they're trying everything they can to save his kidneys. So we were quite relieved to hear he made it through the night last night. which is when he went in.
Right.
But he's fighting, and we just won't know how it goes. So yeah, youngest kitten is only about 16 weeks old. Sorry. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So that's kind of put a dampen on the week, really.
Yeah, it kind of would do. Oh, right.
So if you have lilies and cats, I mean, we read they're poisonous, so we kept it out of the way, but we didn't realise the pollen. I mean, and we, and apparently lilies are almost like cyanide for cats. I mean, it's catastrophically dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, Ben, have you got something to cheer us up with? Hello, Ben. I thought you were back.
I think I'm back. Am I back?
Are you back?
Yes.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. Do I have anything? I went to see the Secrets of Dumbledore. I don't know if that'll cheer anybody up. Possibly not. No, I've not really got anything. My kid's away on a school trip thing for a week, and he's enjoying himself. But that's not really anyone's business but my own. Any other things? No, I don't think so. Nothing that'll cheer anyone else up. Anyway.
Okay.
It's been a nice fun week, and it's been a chilling week, but not exactly yay, exciting, happy, fuzzy, yay, and things compared to death of kittens, near death experiences by kittens.
Well, we're sort of, that's the word. We're hopeful but pragmatic, I think is the mood.
Also, hi to Mac Winston, Miggles, Death Star Omega, and Mother 666. They've all made it to Lave, and I know someone's Sosh FPV is saying they're trying to come over to Lave as well. So hi guys. I'm still trying to sort audio out because things are still weird at my end.
Oh, right. Okay. Psychit, you've had a bit of a rough week as well this week, have you?
Well, no, last week was a bit of a rough week. Just I got like this big, like really gross swelling thing under my eye, and I was just like full of lurgy and cold. Was not COVID. Did double check. Would have been like an immaculate COVID conception had it been COVID, because I don't go out. I don't go anywhere. A lot better now. Had a bit of have had like a really just like trying to do as little as possible, and then doing like an actual metric shit ton of stuff over the last couple of weeks, just like with just stuff online, but also game wise been planning out and making sure that everything has been all right for the Buckyball race coming up this weekend. And also, which I will inevitably mention again later, but also games that aren't elite. I've completed the expedition in No Man's Sky, and it was a really good one this time. Highly recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. And also the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe came out last week. And if you have played the Stanley Parable, and you loved the satire and the nonsense that is that game, and it's best to completely go into into this blind as well, because it's a fantastic game. If you play the Stanley Parable, you do not want to miss out on the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, because that game is an absolute masterpiece.
Cool. That's one thing that I've yet to actually experience, is the Stanley Parable.
So good, Colin. Play the first one, and then you'll be like, you know what, actually, I'm going to go in and have a go at the other one, because the second one is... it's not a sequel. It isn't a sequel. It's like a build of the original game, but made more. I think that's the best way to describe it without spoiling anything. It's fantastic.
Is there an upgrade path from the first one to the Ultra Deluxe Edition?
They're two separate games.
Okay, because I was assuming with a name like Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe,
It was like a...
I don't want to give too much away. If you've played the first one and you haven't picked up the second one, I think it's only about 20 quid on Steam. If you've not picked up the second one, I highly recommend picking it up. Because I just knew that I was going to buy it because the promo from Crows has been sublime, and I knew I was going to get it, so I didn't even...
I love the Standalone Parable, but I didn't realise Ultra Deluxe was a brand new game, essentially.
It is.
Sort of.
It is, but it's like a build-up of the game. There is so much new content. There is a little bit of old content because there has to be, because it wouldn't be the Stanley Parable if it didn't have the old content. I feel like I've only just scratched the surface with it so far.
Wow.
And I don't know how many hours I've got in Ultra Deluxe, but I played it a lot over the weekend. But it's very, very good. I highly recommend it.
Awesome.
Excellent. Let's see. Well, myself has been a bit of a renaissance this weekend. I pulled my finger out, and thanks to Ben and thanks to a wonderful commander over in America, I now have a brand new PC that is vastly superior to the one I had last week. And I have been testing out all my old games with the new graphics settings and Elite Dangerous with things being ramped up like crazy. And I'm really, really happy. Really happy.
It's made a real difference to your FPS.
Oh God, yes, because I did some testing last night, and I ended up going into a CZ. The graphics are set to ultra. We are running around on planet, and it's 1920 by 1080, and I'm still getting 45 to 50 FPS. When I go everywhere else, it's 60. So basically, I've been flying around with 60 FPS exploring on planets, and it's been great.
So would you say Elite has been your most improved game visually, or have there been other games that have?
Well, surprisingly, that and No Man's Sky. I did an upgrade on No Man's Sky, and it was phenomenal. The upgrade for No Man's Sky, I must admit. But yeah. Yes, I was twitching at the weekend a lot. Yes, so that's effectively.
You'll go blind.
Yeah, that's right. I will go blind. Of course, I will, Ben. Yeah. So that's been me. I've been really nice long weekend, and yeah. So let's just hope the rest of the week turns out a bit better than Shan's week has been.
I hope you get improvement, Shan. I hope it all goes the right way, and never buy lilies again.
Well, it wasn't me. It was my mum who brought them for Mrs. Shan for her birthday.
Just throw them away. Throw them away as soon as
they
you
are.
can.
They are. We've completely threw them away and sterilised them. And
it's a horrible thing. I'm so sorry. It's so detrimental. So I'm crossing everything for you, mate.
Yeah, thanks. As I say, he's in the Royal Veterinary Hospital, so there's probably not a better vet in the country, to be fair.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Who's put this new bot on the on the chat room, because it's always telling you to share, like, and subscribe.
This sounds like a Norman thing. I bet you he's been doing stuff.
What's what you're supposed to do?
He's been doing stuff.
Yes, like and subscribe, and we don't have a Patreon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but it doesn't tell you to like and subscribe to what, though, does it? It could be our Twitch stream, it could be our podcast, it could be a number of things.
Well, you could always like and subscribe any Top Shift videos, or even follow me on Twitch, because basically I've started doing that at the weekend. And there's always the Psychic, who does lots more twitching than I do.
Like and subscribe Lave Radio on OnlyFans.
Don't. I wouldn't.
What?
I didn't even know we were on OnlyFans.
We're definitely not. We're definitely
Is
not.
this something you've set up, Shan?
I thought it was your account.
I'm going to come across as really naive here.
Don't ask.
Don't
ask,
go there.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
So basically, not a site.
It's be pornography, Colin. It's be porn.
Well, there was
we could do ship porn on OnlyFans. Let's do space porn on OnlyFans. I think that's a great idea.
We're covering that a little later, aren't we?
Oh,
yeah, Colin. Do that and pretend they're tractors.
Pretend they're tractors?
Don't ask me about that.
Yeah. What is it? You're a fan of Ukrainian farmers or something?
Just Colin does not. What current event did you actually watch, Colin? Never mind.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I don't know what's going on here. Right. Oh, now you've got the chat room all excited about space porn.
Well, it leads into the development section, the space suits, doesn't it?
Oh, right. Well, let's have a look at what has been happening in the development news. Well, how shall I put this? There's been a little bit of drama this week. I think that's the best way of putting it. On the 28th, Bruce posted that the official live stream will not take place this week. We will post in future to confirm when they will resume. And basically, that was the equivalent of opening a can of worms on both Reddit and the forums. Because we had pictures of gravestones of Elite Dangerous and Obsidian Ant kicking off with some of people criticizing some of his streams lately, and yeah, it was. Go on, Shan, quickly.
I actually agreed with what Ant wrote in his forum post about how much the current CMs care, and how much effort they try and put in. They put into the game to try and get us news, and the lack of news is not due to their lack of effort, shall we say?
Yeah, I know. I think the ironic thing is when you actually watch the Obsidian Ant videos, you end up agreeing with a lot of what he says. The issue is there's an awful lot of. It feels clickbaity. He says it's not intended, but it does feel clickbaity. Yeah.
How else do you earn income from YouTube unless you play the algorithm?
Obsidian Ant claims that he doesn't play the algorithm game. For that, you need to have a look at the other streamers. But he claims that he's... Yeah. I mean, the main point comes down to the fact that... The main point comes down to the fact that this seemed to have been a last straw. The fact that, there's been so much bad news, and now that they're cancelling, they said they were cancelling the live stream. Everyone thought, right, they're not going to say when they're coming back. This is another nail in the coffin, and everything all kicked off. And then the very next day, I swear, the very next day, there was a tweet saying that the next Frameshift Live will be basically the 4th of the 5th. So, Star Wars Day, where they will talk about the console accounts, transfers, and what they're doing for Elite Dangerous in 2022 and future plans. To which everyone else just went, why? First of all, you're telling us not, and now we are? I'm sorry, I was a bit confused. I mean, hopefully, we'll have good news tomorrow. Go on,
I think we'll have.
Oh no, Psychic first, and then you, Sam.
Do you not think that it gave the full essence of what happened in January? But the reaction was quicker in this instance. So instead of it being like 3 months that we were waiting for the CMs to finally be able to say something. They did one thing, and the people who are in charge of saying stuff, who are terrified of the share price going down and all of that sort of nonsense, went, all right, okay, if you're not going to put anything out, then let us say that you can share this information. Because again, it must be a complete ball ache to be a community manager and have you're not giving us any news. You're not giving us any news constantly. And if they're not allowed to share any news, it's going to make life incredibly difficult for them. So why is that team going out and saying stuff? Why is that team coming in front of someone and being able to and saying, "Oh, we'll have more information on that when we can share information"? It to me, it smacks of everything that happened at the beginning of the year, but on a much smaller scale.
Yeah, there seemed to be a quicker turnaround for a response to that. Ben?
Does anyone else feel, and I'm going tinfoil hat here, that words were said, threats were made, and people maybe backed down?
Not in as many words as threats, I wouldn't have said.
I mean, what kind of threats do you mean?
Well, if putting it in Ben speak, why the fucking hell have you employed me if you're not allowing me to say anything?
Yeah, that's not a threat. That's basically what I just said, Ben, but not in as many words.
Oh, I mean, I'm...
You're implying that someone said, all right, okay, give me something to talk about, otherwise I walk. Is that what you're saying?
Give me something like, you guys need to wake the fuck up. Because the community is going batshit crazy. And rightfully so.
Uh-huh.
And this is not doing anything good for us as a company, us as a community. So until you actually allow us to say something, we're just, we've got to go radio silent, as Sai was saying. And I don't know, I just get the feeling that, and I feel, and full kudos to Arf, is if it's even anything like this, that the community team basically, our back's up against the wall here, we have to do something, and we're standing up for it. And I really feel like the community team had our backs to higher management at Frontier.
Well, yeah, I think it was bizarre, to be honest. That
very bizarre.
That one day it was right. That's it. No live stream this week, which was kind of understandable because it was a bank holiday.
Bank holiday, Norway, yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, the next day is we'll tell you everything this Wednesday.
Not just that, but you had Bruce coming off and saying, yes, we were very, very careful and precise about the words that we said. Basically, doubling down on, we know exactly what we said and we meant it when he was talking to Ants.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a little bizarre, this one, but on a more upbeat note, we're going to find stuff out tomorrow. Go on.
Yay!
Yeah, I was just about to say my tinfoil hat was on as well, Ben, regarding that. And I know I'm often rude about, well, not rude, but critical of Frontier and stuff like that. But
no, rude.
Hey, you were right first time, Shan. It's all good.
But I do have a lot of respect and admiration for what the CMs seem to have done. But also, I do really feel sorry for them because didn't Arf have to apologise for the communications earlier on as if it was some kind of his doing, and it sort of felt as though he was being asked to fall on his sword to save face higher up, and that didn't sit right with me when Arf did that. If you're going to take a hit, admit, make it your hit. Don't do it because someone else doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that, Ben, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument, though, to what Shan just said, in that, as head CM, it's kind of his job to fall on his sword as well, a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of in the job description slightly.
Only if your team has messed up. If it's someone else higher up who's messed up, they should be man enough or person enough to own up and say, sorry guys, we've messed the comms up as a company. We're going to do better, and it was starting with this. So, but also, because I guess we'll move on this main topic, but isn't there supposedly talk about the transfers as well coming?
There is.
So shouldn't they have done that before they announced the console thing? Anyway.
Yeah, in the chat room, we've got a lot of people commenting on this. It's sort of like normally along the lines of they don't care about the live stream. Tomorrow's really got their attention. They don't think, Wintermute says, don't think the CMs will look comfortable on the live streams at all for the last few streams. That seems to be the general consensus because they haven't got anything new to talk about. They're getting a little bit,
They're getting hammered by the community.
Well,
I guess it's a little bit like walking around the cop with an Everton shirt on every week.
Yeah. Right. Well, this is the only development news that we've had for the last week. Now, obviously, tomorrow we're having this catch up, so we're going to probably be doing a little bit of rampant speculation about that. There's an awful lot of community news to get through as well, so hopefully we'll be able to touch on that. Shall we look at the endgame events for this week? Obviously, on the 27th of April, the 3308, it was agreed that the Marlinist refugees are to migrate from the Alliance. This is 2 million or so Marlinists who escaped to the Alliance when the Empire blamed them for all the station bombings. They have now been are being repatriated to the Marlinist colonies. Now, Sirius has the Sirius Initiative plans aid for the Alliance. This is for their help with the Thargoid attacks, which really hit big time this week. We had one major attack in Empire space, one major attack in Federation space, and one major attack in Alliance space. And it has formed a basis for new community goals. And put it this way, people were so enthusiastic about these community goals, it was almost completed in one afternoon. Yeah. So, am I sounding funny?
You've changed a little tiny bit. You're sounding a little bit more echoey, but it's not too bad.
You sound a bit Scottish, Colin.
I'm just ignoring that. Psychic,
whatever you've done, I've sorted it.
Oh, right, weird. Psychic, the CG.
So, on that note, on them being really enthusiastic and solving it, and like completing it within the space of a day.
Yeah.
If you look on Inara, I don't know if this is still the case. If you looked on the CGs on Inara, there is one of the CGs with the where the hell is it?
You got me looking up Inara now as well.
It's one of them has got the top is 13 billion. I'm sure one of them had the top being 13 billion. I look like a complete dickhead of it. I've got this wrong now. I swear there was one that was super high.
Well, they had to put it that super high because otherwise the people were, they were busting up bugs left, right, and centre. It was phenomenal.
But one was like 15 billion on the first day. I'm sure it was, and that was kind of like I can't see which one it is. But that was kind of like, because this has been been supposed to be the CG for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
I think people have been saving up those anti-Xeno bounties, which is rather exciting for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Because that's balls of steel right there.
oh my goodness, has Susong been completed now? Oh no, I'm looking at the various.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, one's 15 billion, but it's like contributions. It was like the contributions were a couple of million to 13 billion, and that happened on like the Thursday or the Friday that had come up.
That's right. Yes. It's the one in Susong is now 8 out of 9 tiers complete, and it is phenomenal. We've also got the one in Novas. That is also 8 of 9 tiers complete. So they're all they've all been ramped up. The only one that's lagging behind is the Alliance one in Didio. That's only out of 4 out of 9. But you look at the number of the contributors that are in there. There's only 1,400 people who have made contributions to this. Yet it's already up at level 8.
Like the anti-Xeno hunting folks are really passionate about what they do.
Oh, and they're very good at what they do. I mean, how many basilisks and medusas are they taking down with one sidewinder? Probably quite a lot.
Commander Chig in chat, sorry, just said something I didn't realise that. Apparently, according to Commander Chig, you don't lose Thargoid Bond at death in Odyssey, so you can save them up.
Ooh. Oh, is that a bug then? Because I thought you always lost them. Or you're supposed to lose them.
So did I, but according to Chig, you don't lose the bond.
Right.
Oh, really?
I've been doing some Thargoid hunting myself, and it is very profitable as long as you don't lose a ship. I've already lost one ship, but I've got enough to pay it back twice over. So, and I must admit, when I was doing it, I forgot how much I really enjoyed Thargoid combat. I really did forget how much it was fun. How much fun I was having with it. Am I the only one that's taking part in those, or have you been? Oh, you said you've been joining in as well, Psychic.
I haven't done any of it.
Oh, right.
Thargoids are our friends. Why are we shooting them? It's we are the aggressors, and this CG just proves it.
The last time that I did Thargoid stuff was probably in before Odyssey had been released. It's been a while.
It's been a while, has it? Fair enough. Yeah. So those three things, those three CGs kicked. Oh, there's actually a fourth CG as well, which is delivers stuff to Leasty to help with support with the Alliance and Sirius. So there's that if you don't want to shoot bugs. So yeah. Going on from that, there was an interview each day with a superpower admiral which is dealing with the Thargoids. So on the 29th there was an interview with the Imperial Admiral, the 30th had the Federal Admiral, and the 1st of the May had the Alliance Admiral. There was a nice little touch to this, is that you got half the interview through Galnet, but if you went to where it was mentioned in Galnet and down and scanned the comm beacon near the ship, or on the ship rather, you got the rest of the interview. I thought that was a really nice touch.
That's really cool. I didn't know anything about that.
I like that.
Yeah. So if you go to the ships themselves, Commander Chig says, "Do you want to know more?" Ah dear, I can hear the Starship Troopers mantras already. Oh, yeah. So yeah, so that's been that, and then on the 2nd of May, the Empire has now made veiled warnings that the Thargoids might attack the monoliths and they should have become a Imperial protectorate because they ain't going to help you. You know, as you do. So they made quite a lot of not veiled threats, but it was kind of attempted to be subtle. There's been no news today, though, which was a bit of a surprise. As you can imagine, the Anti-Zine Initiative have... this is weird, actually, because their Thargoid Watch websites ask their members to target the following 3 systems. HIP 38225, which is almost clear. Payukehuman, no idea. That's still got a moderate presence. And Didio, which is, of course, got a massive presence as it's part of the Alliance CG. Operation Ida doesn't have any current targets, but that will probably change by next week. I know I was a bit annoyed because the stations are on fire at all the systems. Because I dragged my Imperial commander up in a 15 light year Python all the way up to the Imperial station, hoping to do a lot of rescue missions, and of course. They weren't burning the Imperial station, so I've now got to get that blooming thing back the way down to the Imperial capital. Yay!
Can you not just order a ship over and then order it back? I know it's a lot of money, but there's 15 light years, and then there's other things. Anything else that you could be doing in game?
Yeah, that is the problem. Except this is the power play commander who's basically broke all the time.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yes.
Does it have a rebuy?
The rebuy is, I think, slightly less than I've got in the bank.
So what you could do, if you're really desperate, you could self-destruct, take the free Sidewinder, which gets you back in the bubble, and then order your ship back.
But no, if you self-destruct,
no, because that doesn't work.
A different ship, buy a different ship out there. Then self-destruct and then order your ship back.
Yeah.
That's the course of action, not just self-destructing. Just, dear listener, if you're considering doing that, please buy another ship before self-destructing, because that old ship won't automatically rematerialize if you pay Sidewinder.
I've got the optimum solution for Colin.
Oh, no.
Self-destruct, and then we'll work the plan out later.
You really think I'm going to be stupid enough to follow that, do you?
No, but it'd be funny.
You could always try self-destructing on Shan's megaship. And then you'll be able to... Well, I was thinking then Shan's megaship can just deliver you where you need to be.
Or where I want him to be.
They may not be the same place.
Yeah, I know where I want to be, and rather than risk the inevitable betrayal, I will take the 15 light year jump, the 15 light year jumps I've got to do back to the Imperial capital. Unless, of course, the station starts burning next week, and then I can start doing those runs. Ah, dear. Just because I want to be higher than a blooming surf. So, moving on from there, we come to this time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your
welcome back. The store alert this year, there doesn't seem to be any store alert. However,
This year,
the sheer federal Corvette skins seem to be in at the moment. Or sorry, sheer line. Psyche, as our resident Corvette expert,
There's no pink, Colin. There's no pink. Don't it's a moot point. If there was a pink, I might be tempted because I mean it's quite a nice design. If there was like one of the ones which is two-tone with like pink on the outside, like a cool blue on the inside, I'd be down with that. But no, there's a nice orange and green one. That's the Terrier Accord. If you want to get that, that'd be really cool. But other than that, yeah, it's alright.
I think the red and blue one's actually really good. It might entice me to actually go and get a Corvette. Oh no, I can't. I've got more important things to do than convert.
Can you get one in Imperial White?
Yeah, we want a Corvette in Imperial White. So yeah, if you're a Corvette fan, there's stuff there for you. But unfortunately for Psychic, they're not pink.
Is there? There's other ones. There's other ones that are a lot nicer.
Fair enough. I mean, I must admit, in Odyssey, have they fixed the... there was a lot of complaints about the Corvette skins. Have they fixed them?
I've never had any complaints about my Corvette skins. I've used Corvettes in Odyssey, very seldomly because there's barely any settlements that require I go around in a courier more often than a Corvette nowadays. It's most disheartening, and I'm very upset about it. So stop opening those wounds, Colin.
So what's putting you off about the Corvette now then? Like...
It's because she's sick. It's difficult to land her in close proximity to settlements. So if I'm doing a lot of BGS work, especially in like my home system, and we've got 146 settlements, and I can't land a Corvette at one, and even if I do land a Corvette, it takes me like half an hour to walk to the lifts at our Coriolis. Why can I not do a maybe I can, if I get a Courier or a DBS or a DBX or a Viper, someone suggested the other day, all of those ships are so much more adequate in their ability to be in closer proximity to the settlement, so it just makes more sense to take a smaller ship in Odyssey times, which is quite nice because I've neglected the smaller ships, so it's been quite nice to get to know them a little bit.
Yeah, I tend to use a Cobra or a Cobra for that because it's a really fast ship. So if you want to buzz settlements and shoot things, you can get in and out before the guns swivel around. So I use a Cobra. But the other thing that puts me off using a Corvette is the last thing I want is some soldier coming up with a pistol and blowing it up.
I mean, that's very unlikely that's going to happen. I was doing some ground settlement stuff in my Phantom, and my Phantom is my bubble jumper and my explorer. So as you can well imagine, she's not very well shielded and she's not very well hulled. And I had like 18 NPCs shooting my ship at one point. The shields went down and the lowest it got to was 58% hull.
So I'd be facetious. Don't you find the crate is a bit wide though? Because I found when I took a crate to one of the Guardian ruins, it was quite tricky to land it at the Guardian ruin because it was substantially wider than.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting to do that today, and I just flew a ship over to see what the situation was, and I was like, oh, I need to do some BGS here, and didn't consider transferring a smaller ship over. That said, most of the places where I could land had medium pads, so it was okay.
Ben, you wanted to talk about the DBX and something else?
Yeah, I have to admit, I've not tried it, but I've heard that the DBX is very good for a lot of the OD on foot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's small, it's thin, it's maneuverable. It's got a lot of stuff. It's got enough room to get what you need, but it's not a chunky boy.
Yeah, I've used a DBX for Guardian Ruins because you can put point defense on it quite easily.
DBX is perfect for Guardian Ruins.
Yeah, I took the Crate Phantom out there for that, and yeah, I know what you mean about the finding a landing spot near the Guardian sites. It takes a little while.
And with the Crate Phantom, if you're doing the Guardian sites, you have to face it forward towards the Guardian sites. Otherwise, the point defense won't go off in the same way that if you've got you can turn your DBX's arse to the Guardian sites and your point defense will go off fine. But if you've got a Phantom's arse towards it, the point defense won't see it, so you have to turn it around the other way. It's really interesting.
Yeah, we've got Mother Fig in the chat room saying that he prefers using the asp for the runes, which I can understand because the point defense on the top, that's completely 360. You can just land it, and as long as you've got the point defense on the top, then you're fine.
I think for most Guardian runes, the asp is fine, but I've just had an awful lot of hassle with a couple of them trying to get the asp in the right place. But horses for courses and all that.
Yeah,
that's why there's so many different ships with so many different abilities.
That's one thing that I've actually got to do. I've got to go out and recheck the Guardian runes and the beacons now that I've got my upgrades, my graphic upgrades, because I was really disappointed.
Oh my god, Colin! Just you wait until you do a beacon. Oh my god, with better graphics. Oh my god, man!
And beacons are so pretty anyway.
Yeah, because I was disappointed under the mid settings. It really didn't work. So I really want it like an ultra.
Sorry, Colin. If you really want your mind blown, now you've got a beefed up a PC. Try Thargoid and Guardian runes in VR.
Oh yeah, I completely intend to. It's going to be interesting to see because my VR headset has always struggled a little bit, and of course it can't handle Odyssey at all. So hopefully with this new graphics card that I'll be able to see it in all its full in-depth glory.
Oh yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, and unfortunately there are people saying that there's actually a bug in the Guardian sites for Odyssey with the rockets not working.
I mean, heck it then. You don't need point defense at all. It's fine. Just go. I can imagine it as and when that gets fixed. That'll age well.
Yeah.
So Kit told me that I could go and do it.
Yeah, they'll all blame you. Right. I think we'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back with our main discussion.
Oh, boy, space, it's cold in here. That commander has a cheek sitting up in his cosy and warm cockpit while we haul radioactives around his cargo bay.
Oh, is it cold? I hadn't noticed.
Oh, that's right. Why, you're not even shivering.
Maybe it's because I picked up this North Coast cargo bay sweater. It keeps me warm and stylish.
Say, that is a nice jumper.
It's made from the finest Verrex wool and handcrafted by novitiates in the underground monasteries of Van Marnen's Star.
Wow. Where can I get one?
New North Coast Cargo Bay sweaters. Be the envy of your friends. Wow every lady from here to the Empire. Be warm and toasty even on the 10th planet of a dying star. Now on sale at Spark and Mensa.
Better now?
Better? Why, I feel so warm I'll probably never catch man flu again.
Spark and Mensa, 'cause nothing says sexy like a neck-high jumper. Are you thinking of suing over missold Python protection insurance? Had an accident in an airlock or slipped in a space station cargo bay and thinking of suing for compensation? Well, don't.
I tried to take my ship commander to court for making fertiliser out of my crewmates. Legal fees have left me with nothing, and now I'm hungry. All the time.
At Watt & Brittany we take small print very seriously. We have a massive team of lawyers just waiting to block your case and ramp up your legal costs.
I wanted a simple, no-win, no-fee arrangement. My case got blown out of the water by Watt & Brittany, and now I have to rent out my arse for hydrogen fuel.
At Watt & Brittany we have a saying, if you don't want a beating, stay out of our court.
I was savaged by a wild creature whilst fixing a vending machine. Can't I claim compensation?
No, you can't, because we have a massive team of lawyers and you're just someone who works for a living. Watt & Brittany. Don't even think about it.
Lakon. Reliable, versatile, spacious. Lakon has been leading the way for commercial ships for decades. Our ships are infamous for their versatility and functionality. Lines like our Asp and Diamondback lead the market in exploration vessels, while the Type Series ships are among the favorite among miners and traders. And with our staple glass canopy, you'll be able to observe everything around you, making navigation easier and giving a scenic view of the galaxy. Whether you're hauling cargo from starport to starport or exploring the vast unknown of our galaxy, you can expect the Lakon ship to fulfill any task you put it to. Lakon Spaceways, transporting you to the future.
Get ready. LAVE Radio.
And welcome back. Right, what is our main discussion for today? Well, obviously with the live stream that's happening tomorrow, why did it have to be tomorrow? So good luck to the loose screws and the Hutton truckers who are going to get the drop on this one. But what the question we've got to ask is, what are we hoping for in tomorrow's live stream? I put some questions up on the forum for people to ask it. And I know we're not going to get anything absolutely massive like ship interiors, and we know that the planetary tech is staying as it is, but I just wanted a quick a quick ask of you knew that'd throw me. Ask the crew, what are they hoping for? And going through some of these items in this thread. Jan, what kind of thing are you hoping that they'll announce for this live stream?
What do I think they'll do, or what do I hope? Because
Bit of hope. Let's have a bit of hope from you.
Okay, I hope. Priority number one, and Mother Fig said it in chat, Magna Pants. We have to have Magna Pants. Okay. Secondly, I hope they do on foot Thargoids. Probably more important to me than that, it would be an engineering revamp for both on foot engineering and spaceship engineering. So I'd want to see engineering revamp, Magna Pants, and on foot Thargoids.
Lovely. Why do you have to bring up the Magna Pants? Is everyone all of a sudden just shouting Magna Pants in the chat? Yeah. Okay, Ben.
I mean, like Shan, obviously my number one hope has to be the Magna Pants too, because these are just things that have to be required. Other than that, what I want, and I don't know how, it's a harder thing for Frontier to deliver than anything somehow, but I don't know how they can deliver it, but I want for them to deliver, and more importantly, I want for the community to believe an ongoing commitment to Elite Dangerous. And I know that's bloody ethereal. Because I think half the problem that we've been getting is, it's like somebody farts in the wind, and it's like, oh my god, Elite Dangerous is dying. Someone sneezes. Oh my god, it's the last of the end of Elite Dangerous. We need to... Frontier needs to do whatever needs to be done so that the community somehow believe the game is in a good shape for a prolonged period of time. And I don't know how the hell they can pull that off.
Yeah, you feel that they've got to build up confidence with the community again.
Yes, I guess so, and I think that's more than it's more than a one show deal to get that, but that's what I think we need.
We've got Cyberdam. Cyberdammy is wondering what Magna Pants are.
We haven't done the advert yet. We need to record an advert. We need to
Yes,
remember to do that.
don't. You
Magna
don't
Pants
want-
are how we sit down in fleet carriers. That's the short version of it.
Yes. You don't want to lift and separate in 0G? Magna Pants. So... Oh dear, it's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad?
Shan. Oh no, Psychic. Your turn.
I do also have opinions.
That was a mistake. It was just a slip of the tongue, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me and Shan are so similar.
Not only do you have opinions, Sai, your opinions are welcome and valid.
Oh well, thank you so much, Ben. Thank you for that validation. It really helped. Okay, right. So my main thing, the main thing that I hope and pray to come out of this stream is tomorrow. That I will be watching surreptitiously while I'm streaming a different thing. The main thing that I really, really want to come out of it is I want to see people who have been absolutely over the last couple of weeks, the people who have been absolutely shitting on Frontier and shitting on everything that's happened and being like, oh no, it's never going to be good news, it's going to be crap. I want to see them eat their fucking words predominantly. That's my first thing. And go, maybe I was proven wrong. That I would adore. That would be my favorite thing. I want to be a fly in the wall if stuff like that happens.
Rub their noses in it, don't you?
I want them to be tail between their legs. Oh, I was mistaken. Although, given the nature of some of those people, I very much doubt that will be the case. Let me just get down off my soapbox now.
No, carry on. I'm enjoying this.
What do I genuinely want to see other than that? I would like to see a community management team who take ownership of what's happened so far, and then also talk about things, saying, look, we've got this plan, we're currently looking at, let's say we're looking at this particular thing, we're looking at this particular thing, we're looking at this particular thing. This update 12 is coming out. We're looking at update 12 end of June. However, if that timeline is going to change, we will let you know. Treating the community like, let's be honest, we're all the general age of Frontier, of the people who play Elite Dangerous, is a little bit higher than, let's say, those who play Fortnite or things along those lines. We've invested a little bit more money into the game. We are adult enough to be able to go, except we've got this planned, we've got it planned for circa this date, but if it changes, we will let you know. I don't necessarily want a full roadmap planned. I just like to know that there are certain things that they're working on. I'd love like a hint of a hover bike, maybe.
Yeah. I'm not stopping you.
No, I'd like a hint of a hover bike, or a hint of like maybe a couple of extra ships. I don't want, we're going to give in this ship and this ship by X date, because there's no need for that. In my opinion, there's no need for that. I'd like to know a couple of things that they're working on, and update 12 is currently scheduled for end of June. Let's pick a date out there, end of June. But if it changes, we will let you know. Also, this is what we've got planned for the console transfers. This is what we can give you.
All right.
And hopefully, it being more than just being able to transfer your commander and give them all the credits. That's what I want. I want like at least a hint of a direction.
Yeah. Shan, quick question for Psychic.
Yeah, going back to your ideal of everyone who you want them to eat crow, basically. So what is your threshold for saying they should eat crow for this? You know, because obviously there's a scale between 1 and 10 of what they'll announce. So on that scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is atmospheric planet landings with dinosaurs, and one is different color fleet carriers, for example. What would be your mark for making people want to eat crow, do you reckon?
So I don't know. I don't really fully understand what you mean by that, but I think what you're asking me is there a metric where I go, okay, yeah, now that person can eat shit, basically, and
yeah, what's your level of satisfaction?
Oh God, that's a very probing question. It really depends who's doing the satisfaction, Shan. But realistically,
no.
Realistically, you've seen people. You've seen people.
Yeah,
be
welcome to
absolute,
Science Smart Corner again.
But you've seen people be absolute.
Okay, let's say, what would it take for you to enjoy Yameks eat humble pie?
Oh man, I'm never going to watch a Yamek stream. Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
Yeah. Honestly, Shan, I think that you're asking the wrong person there. It's more, let's take Yameks for example. Yameks, what would it take for you to eat crow? And we can't obviously ask that of all the people who have been naysayers, because they'll all have different opinions, won't they?
Yeah, I think because what Si says is actually an interesting point when you sort of think about it a bit, because I suspect it depends on how long people have been feeling frustrated with the current communication strategy of Frontier. Because the longer you've been feeling frustrated, the smaller the niggle that will trigger you, if that makes sense. Which is why you sort of tend to find, I think, people who have been around a while are more triggered because the store of it is fresher than someone who has only been in for 3 months and wondering where a roadmap is.
Yeah, but they're not the people that I'm referring to on that. And like a person who's been here 3 months, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We've not got a lot of information. It's not. Those people are the people who've been here 3 months are used to this being the norm. There are the people who've been here for quite a while. There's people who have been here for maybe less time than I have, who have decided that they are. They know the people who feel like they know better than Frontier are the people that I am like fully. I fully want to make sure that they are not even unsatisfied. Like the words that I've seen some people spill.
Yeah.
It just gets frustrating, and there's also like there's that side when people are like, the people who were defending the company are doing even worse for the company, or making it even worse, and I don't think that that's the case. Nobody is like outright defending. I will quite happily sit here and say that some of like the communication that has come out of Frontier this year has been absolute gash bollocks. It's been some of the worst that I've ever seen from any company ever. But hopefully, I'm confident that they, with the right sort of prodding from the CM team, they can turn it around. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna throw all my tweets out the pram about it. The old gash bollocks.
It may shock some people. I actually agree with what Si just said. I
just think it's really funny. I can't comprehend these people just like coming down so hard on, and I mean, I suppose it comes down to me saying that it's a video game again, doesn't it? And then like all of the listeners get really shitty with me because I'm saying that it's a video game. I mean, the people that you've met throughout the video game aren't going to go away. You might start playing different games and you might catch up over like DMs on Discord. Discord ain't going anywhere. And grumble.
I think there's two polar opposites. I think there's the people who think Frontier can do nothing right because they didn't do part of the game that as they wanted it, as that person wanted it to, and then there's the other side where because of nostalgia or whatever it is, and of a warm fuzzy feeling about Elite since 1984. They have Frontier on some kind of pedestal, and they think that Frontier can do no wrong because of what Elite started out as. And for me personally, I started off having Frontier on a pedestal, but as time's gone on, I've tried my best to treat them as if they were any other games company, and they were selling me a product that I either wanted to buy or I didn't want to buy, just the same way as any other games company. So I'm trying to hit that neutral ground personally between they're just another games company, and if I like the product, I'll say it. If I don't like it, I'll say it, but also hopefully I'll say why I don't like it.
Right. Well, moving on from there. I mean, the main post that I put on, I had 9 items that I was hoping for. 9. Most of which you've already covered. So you got the confirmation that FDev is going to support and continue to develop the game for quite a while. Obviously, continuing Galnet CGs and in-game events after the Azimuth Saga's finished. Continued bug fixes. More space interactions on high threat on foot missions. This one's a real bugbear for me. Additional on-foot exploration mechanics, because I'm actually enjoying scanning plants. It's just, I don't know. It's really hard to find some bacterium, say white bacterium, on a nice planet. What chance have you got? I'm agreeing with Shan because I'm hoping that they're going to follow up with the alterations to engineering, because remember there was something 6 months ago where they were saying, we're going to be looking at engineering soon, and my pie in the sky 3 are I'm hoping for changes to crime and punishment eventually. I'm hoping for maybe a new ship, and the biggie for me would be power play update. Anybody?
Never ever gonna happen. Absolutely, like that is done and dusted. If there's an update, that's been removed from the game.
As far as engineering changes, all they need to do is remove power plant engineering, then I'll be happy.
And then we're back to people taking stuff away, and you might be happy, but I wonder whether or not the community will be.
They're grown-ups. They'll see the wisdom.
Yeah, well, it'll certainly screw up the FTL murder build, won't it? I mean, looking through the whole of the forum posts, it's done quite well. The vast majority of people have said something like, we'd like something else rather than we have nothing to announce at this time. There was an awful lot of... Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I remember when it was just Stephen and Will, and for 9 months they just had to say there is nothing we can talk about at this time, especially when they cut Galnet and things like that. Oh man, that was bad.
Did they still do live streams when?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I feel so far removed from like the whole community during that point because I was like fully focusing on BGS with my then squadron. So it's kind of like I was totally removed from everything else that was going on.
Yeah, they were still carrying on doing live streams. We actually did one with them. And that was the Stephen run. We stopped off at every station with a Stephen name in it. But yeah, I think that was the absolute worst. I don't think this time it's been as bad, even though it has been bad, because we've still had the CGs and the Galnet news. But yeah, it has been difficult. Shan, you have an example of thirsty people?
Well, no, if people are thirsty, I would suggest if people would like an example of what I think a good roadmap or way ahead would be, is to look at the ArenaNet Guild Wars 2 announcements. and the way they're written, they treat the reader like an adult, and they say, here are, these are the dates we want to do such and such and such and such. But I'm sure you'll understand sometimes we can't hit them, but at least they make the effort in explaining it in a fairly detailed, good-natured way. So have a look at the ArenaNet Guild Wars 2 updates of the sort of approach I would like Frontier to have and the sort of level of detail I would like Frontier to put in these releases.
As soon as you say it, everyone shouts drink in the chat room.
Well, that's why I said thirsty.
Now, I think if people are thirsty, let us go to the bar and ask the bartender for a bloody drink.
But it's not your real person.
We're gonna do.
Ben.
In game, I want to go and say, I want to buy a drink.
Is that what you want, Ben?
I would love to be able to go to the bartender and say, give me a drink. I'd be delighted with that.
Just a tiny thing.
It's not a lot. And then if I can walk around with my drink and then drink it as and when I want to, even that's just dialing it up to 11.
Yeah, and then you'll want your commander to stagger about the place if they don't have enough.
Oh, let me get pissed. Oh, that'd be so good.
Do you want GTA in space?
I go for drink a shot. I drink a shot of Lavian brandy and wake up in Tiso.
Do you want Grand Theft Spaceship?
We'd love Grand Theft.
Being serious, that has actually been the closest analogy for what I want Elite Dangerous to be.
We've had people now requesting they want bar fights and pub crawls.
Oh. We could have a pub crawl though. You go to Lave, you get your Lavian brandy, you go to you get your Centauri Megagen. We could so easily do this.
That's basically what the last Soteria Accord race thing was nipping to get all of the alcohol to fill the glass.
Yeah, but I'm talking about actually asking,
we could get Twaggle on the way. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I want to go and ask Darren Harding in Lave Station for a Lavian brandy, and then knock me shot back before I'm allowed to go back on my ship to fly somewhere else to get another shot, and then I get more and more drunk. And eventually I'm trying to land. And I'm doing barrel rolls, even though I think I'm flying straight.
Since you're sort of fantasizing about things like that, I've just thought of the ideal counter to Magnapants. A weapon that will neutralize Magnapants.
What, a gravity gun?
No. Bucket of bolts. So you just throw the bolts in the air and then get stuck.
Okay.
Magnetize onto someone's Magnapants and slows them down. There we go. That's what we want. Magnapant PvP.
Yeah. Do you throw them at the person from in front or from behind, Shan?
Well, it depends if you want to give them a cod piece or not, isn't it?
What's going on? Oh my god! Why are you ruining Magnapants for us, Shan? It's not fair.
This is what he does. You should know this, Shazai. He takes all good ideas and ruins them. That is Shan's role in life. And can you hear us now, Colin? While we keep making shit up.
Someone said Magna Ants in Magna Pants.
Well, given the fact that we've just lost Colin for a second.
We've lost Colin. That'll be a no then.
It will be a no. I think. Shall we? Because we've got an awful lot.
Hang on, I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. No, I mean my thing was that if we can start drinking at the bar, I think there should be a limit where you pass out, and then the game randomly assigns you a station within 20 light years that you suddenly wake up at, and you've got to get the Apex taxi back.
Yeah,
that's the student version, isn't it?
Only 20 light years. That's lightweight. Only 20 light years. I want to wake up in Colonia.
Drinking your way to Colonia, there is an achievement waiting to happen.
Well, side, you can roleplay that. Just come and visit my carrier, and
I'd rather not.
It's like a mystery.
The main problem there, Shan, is me landing on your carrier.
What, you think you'd be... Anyway.
Heck no.
It's a murder mystery tour.
now people now people want traffic cones.
Well, actually,
Oh God, yes.
what you could do, what you could do is you'd buy drinks from the bar, and if you had too many drinks, it won't let you fly your ship until a certain period of time.
Oh no! We need to just have drunken mechanics. Yeah, we don't want a nanny system, for God's sake.
Oh, I am loving this game that we are building here.
We need ARX purchasable traffic cones.
Yes, we do need traffic cone helmets.
Traffic cone helmets for everybody. Yes.
No, not ARX purchasable. Almost an achievement for flying your ship whilst drunk.
Yes.
Road signs. Gotta have road signs.
I'm pretty sure that's going to go against the EULA somewhere.
Paul Archer said, right, if we're going that far, we now need kebab shops.
Oh, God,
And curry as well. Curry stains on the floor.
Oh,
no. Right. Okay. Fair enough. So basically,
you know, so your flight suit's in overdrive.
So basically,
curry stained Magna pants.
Oh no.
Oh God.
They've all got to be orange anyway.
See, dear listeners, this is why we don't design computer games.
Question.
We leave with a question.
Yes.
I've got a question that
okay.
This is gonna this is gonna be really bad. Which is the engineer that wants escape pods, occupied escape pods?
Etienne Dorn.
Okay, there's your mystery meat.
God, no.
Oh no.
Mystery meat and chips. Enforced cannibalism. Etienne Dorn's kebab shops.
So he has like
Rimworld.
So what he has like a suspiciously looking torso shaped bit of meat rotating in a spit in the
Etienne Dorn's Mystery Meat Emporium.
Oh.
Episode title, job done.
Sorry, what was that?
Etienne Dorn's Mystery Meat Emporium.
Well, it saves things being fertilizer, doesn't it? Because they used to turn into fertilizer.
Etienne Dorn, mystery.
I'll write it down.
Yeah.
People say we don't use clickbait titles, eh?
By the way, Colin, you know how you're saying about you're stuck in the middle of nowhere?
Yes.
Nicholas is coming to pick you up, mate.
Is he?
Yes.
I haven't got my. I'm not there at the moment. I'm presenting Lave Radio. It's a bit difficult.
No, he's going to be in a fleet carrier, so we can fly there. And then you trust Nicholas more than Shan, so we'll fly to where you are.
Yes.
And then we'll pick you up. Then you can jump on his fleet carrier, and then tomorrow or something like that, you can fly you back.
Right. Okay. I appreciate that. This isn't the Lave Radio pickup service. Which, if it was run by Ben, is something completely different. Anyway,
so what would be the what would be the handshake or the secret signal? Would it be dropping your Magna pants?
Oh, for God's sake, Shan!
Oh, for goodness sake!
Anyway, back on.
Talk about. There's always someone who takes it a little bit too far, isn't there? Magna pants are staying up. That's what they're there for. It's funny.
Magna pants.
It's funny that people are mentioning Solient Green because aren't there Kumo burgers, which is a bit suspect as well, in game. I'm sure Wintermute is a.
I think there is, Colin. Yeah,
there's a faction that do burgers from rather questionable meat as well.
Although never confirmed, it was rumoured rival fast food companies were rounded up and made into Soylent White Kumo burgers during corporate mergers and takeovers. Tasty cannibalism.
I love playing Rimworld.
Oh, I take it you end up with your colonists eating each other in that one.
You can eat each other in Rimworld if you wish.
Right, lovely. Okay. Shan, you've put up the thing about the Kumo burger. Oh my goodness. That you know that what that sounds like? That sounds like the special stuff from the League of Gentlemen. Can I have some special stuff, please? Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the Elite Dangerous League of Gentlemen. Oh, come on! There must be a Ruston Vasey station out there somewhere where people ask if you're local.
It's a local station for local
people. Yes. Anyway, I think
Fleet Carrier of the Year.
We've taken the Fleet Carrier to Tangent Town again, so I think we'll try and move back. Let's wrap up the discussion now because it's gone a little off course. And what we'll do is, we'll touch on the community corner. Hopefully tomorrow we will find out, for fingers crossed, what we've got planned for the rest of the year. So we'll start off with LCU No Fool Like One. 99 Systems. I'm unfamiliar with this.
It's okay. Norman can play it, and we can all listen and go, "What the hell have I just listened to?"
Okay.
If Norman's awake.
If you're having faction problems, I feel bad for you, son. We've got 99 systems and a presence in one. Hit me! We got the cannon patrols and the number wang. Posters want to make sure my escape pod explodes. Critics that say cannon scientists suck, not slow at variety, stupid. What type of faction though, if you grew up with black holes in your neighborhood? You'd celebrate the minute you was getting good. I'm like, bah, critics, you can kiss my whole back hole. If you don't like my lyrics, you can press fast forward. Got a beef with Hutton Radio, don't play the show. They don't play my hits, well I don't give a monkey so. Science mags try and use my scientific ass, or advertisers can give them more cash for ads. I don't know what you takers had, or understand intelligence the cannon had, from rags to riches. Spacer I ain't done, we've got 99 systems that are present in one. Hit me! 99 systems and a presence in one. If you're having faction problems, I feel bad for you, son. We've got 99 systems and a presence in one. Hit me! 3308 and I'm carrying Avon cheese. In my rear view radar is the system authorities. Got two choices, you all fall over the ship or bounce on the devil, put the pedal to the floor. Now we ain't trying to see no face by chase with Jake, plus I got a few dollars, I can fight the case. So I pull up out of Super Cruise and conceal my load. I heard some do you know why I'm stopping you? So I'm an elderly scientist, so I rem lock slow. Do I look like a mind reader, sir? I don't know. Am I under arrest or should I get some more? Well, you're doing 105 in a no-fire zone. License and registration, can't clear that star. That's a weapon you're carrying or a vacuum cleaner. I ain't telling you nothing, all my papers are legit. So do you mind if I look around your ship a little bit? My cabin carpet's locked, so the trunk is in the back. I know my rights, you're gonna need a warrant for that. Aren't you sharp as a tack? You some kind of lawyer or something? Somebody important or something? Well, I ain't past the bar and I know a little bit. Enough to know you won't illegally search my ship. We'll see how smart you are when the K9 comes. We got 99 systems and a presence in one. Hit me! 99 systems and a presence in one. If you're having faction problems, I feel bad for you, son. We've got 99 systems and a presence in one. Hit me! 99 systems and a presence in one. 99 systems and a presence in one. 99 systems and a presence in one. 99 systems. If you're having faction problems, I feel bad for you, son. We've got 99 systems and a presence in one. 99 systems and a presence in one. 99 systems and a presence in one. What, 100? What do you mean 100? I just written this whole bloody song. Oh, for goodness sake. supposed to be 99!
I don't know what to say after that.
I know what to say after that. LCU No Fool Like One was very proud of it.
That is understandable. I would be proud of it as well. Right, we're going to still get a copyright strike for that. I'm telling you.
Thankfully, we don't monetize our content.
Oh dear. Shan, you got a kitten update?
No, I just shared it into Discord. I've got a picture and a video from the hospital. The video is him looking a lot more sprightly than he was when we took him in. So we're taking that as a positive sign, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay. Good. Right. Well, the Burr Pit have been up to their old shenanigans. This time they've managed to jump a carrier with 38 people on board it. 38 commanders. It's kind of interesting because they can only see 20.
Yeah.
Psycho, you were involved with this one.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I've seen so many different people's points of view. So it took them, fair play to the Burr Pit. It was well-oiled machine. It took them a good hour and a bit, probably hour 20 minutes to get everyone on board. They did it with 2 people at a time, 1 anchor on the ship, 1 person who was a bus driver who was bringing 2 people over who would then get off at the fleet carrier and then go, and they had 3 different sets of buses effectively coming over, and we ended up with 38 people on the fleet carrier, and then it jumped. And there were a couple of tweets out there of different people's perspective. I've got 2 favorites. One is when everybody starts surfing, because at one point nobody could sit down. Literally nobody at all could sit down. So anytime we sat down, we'd get back up, and then we'd jump and would start surfing. And that was amazing. That's one angle. And then Epiphase's thing that he put on Twitter, video that he put on Twitter, showed everybody bar maybe 12 of the commanders fell out of the bottom of the fleet carrier. So when it jumped, they all stayed put, and everybody who was surfing fell out of the bottom of the fleet carrier, and then they just ended up abandoned in space. So yeah, science was had, and it was amazing. It was really, really good. It was a good time. Yeah, that's the picture of everybody doing the thing. So that was really, really good fun.
Absolutely epic. It really
It was really nice, because I've been wanting to get involved in a Burr Pit bit of shenanigans for a little while, and they always do it when I've either got my space D&D that I do on a Saturday night, or some other things. So it was really nice to just be able to get involved with it.
Yeah, and it sounded mayhem and madness and awesome.
Yeah, it was a good thing. What's next? Do you want to take this one, Ben?
I can take this one. So Asama on the forums is saying that a lot of our commanders are looking a little bit androgynous, shall we say. So I can see where they're coming from in some of that, although I'm not sure I fully agree with it. That said, I do think there is a serious issue in that we can only, there is only one body type in game. And I do think there is a call for being able to be a chunky boy or a bony boy, or somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
There is an issue in games where a lot of female armor especially is a little bit overly hypersexualized. And the graphic examples that he's given by Commander Fosdyke are not quite that bad, but there is definite emphasis, shall we say, on certain parts of people's anatomy. On the other hand, and I'm not meaning this in any disrespect, I was walking down the street the other day, and there were people of varying ages wearing tops and bottoms that also attracted your attention to certain areas. Some of which they shouldn't have been doing, and some of which, they maybe could get away with. So I'm not going to go out of my way to say he's wrong in doing that, because it is definitely a thing that people choose to do.
No, absolutely, you're right.
I think how I interpret what you're trying to say, Ben, is you would like more variation in the style of suits and outfits that you walk around in. So they don't necessarily have to be feminine, masculine, or gender neutral, but just more variation that any commander of any body shape can think, I quite like look at that. I'll wear that. Is that fair enough?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that obviously, there is no reason why you can't look at there can't be male commanders in flight suits and you think, oh my god, that commander's got a right tight ass there. And there's no reason why you can't think that either. And then also he goes off and gives an example of somebody wearing 3/4 length cutoffs.
I think
no.
I think the practical issue is the actual engine and the meshes the game uses for the commanders. I mean, they've obviously made the faces quite flexible, but
yes,
the body shape, size, and whatnot, that's very difficult to do that and give a degree of variation when you then have to make you have to make the textures not clip and all sorts of stuff like that. It can get really messy.
I'm not disagreeing with you, yet it's been a common feature of RPGs since the 90s. So you're not wrong. There is work to be done, but it's not exactly unheard of either.
With my boring person hat on, I would suggest that's quite a lot of effort to code and do the art assets for that. And would that effort not be better spent doing something else?
Agreed.
Like getting us drinks at the bar.
Or I'm all for different variations on outfits and stuff. I don't see the practicality in having space bras. I must admit, space bras don't really seem to be on the top of my list.
Even George Lucas says they don't wear bras in space.
Exactly, and George Lucas would know because he is from the future. That's right. That's how that works, right? But
What about different body types, though?
I would love to see different body types. I would love to be, but then having said that, we don't have. We have like a little bit of a voice now where we're landing and stuff. I like the idea of being able to have. I don't know if they have. I think you pick either a male shape or a female shape.
Yeah.
In body, I'd like a little bit of tweaking. It doesn't need to be like a huge amount of tweaking, but I'd love a little bit of tweaking. I'm all you know me, I'm all for leaning in towards androgyny. Otherwise, I wouldn't be waving these non-binary flags about all the time. But it's I can see it. The thing that the one thing that like got to me a little bit from the Twitter feed. I didn't go on to I didn't go onto the forums about it, but I saw their tweets about it, and the thing that maybe just got my hiccups up a tiny bit was him saying women need to feel sexy. And I was like, do they man on the internet? Do they really?
Do you think what he meant was
I would like my character to be sexy.
Yeah, men playing as a female character.
Men need their female avatars.
Yeah, I would like to be able to spaff one out over my female character.
Oh,
Yes, but then, Si, if you had the ability, wouldn't you like
No!
the ability to increase your commander's junk size?
No!
No, you don't think we should.
I'm perfectly comfortable with the size of I'm perfectly comfortable with the size of my virtual character's penis. Thank you.
But why can't we have overly sexualized cod pieces in game, just like they were in the 1600s? Damn it!
In-game store item. Yeah, Arc store item. Magna Pants cod pieces.
Oh my god! I can't believe you've managed to join that all up together. So now you want magnetized.
I'm assuming the Magna Pants cod pieces are also magnetically attached
and guaranteed not to do any damage to your junk whatsoever.
Yeah.
Would you have said cod pieces? Would that be electromagnets so you could turn them off and on, or even maybe remote control them so you could nip around the room?
Oh, so you just press the button and it falls off?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard of an ejection
just
seat,
taken
but
a
there's a turn. Well, yeah. You see, this is what happens when Virgin Media cut my internet. Look what happens to you lot.
In all seriousness, and when the Holomy first came out, I was a bit disappointed at the number of hairstyles and the variety of hairstyles they had.
I think, to tell you the truth,
they gave you the rationale. They gave you the rationale for it. Was like, oh, characters with long hairs wouldn't be able to fit with the helmet on, and that just seemed a bit weak for me personally.
Yeah, I must admit, I think that is my only complaint, was the long hair. Because also I wanted long hair on my male characters, because effectively relive my youth rather than the King of the Hill Hank character that mine looks like at the moment.
You had long hair as a youth.
Yes.
Yes,
Colin, you have to show us photos of that. I'm sorry. You're going to have to show us photos of you.
Oh, for God's sake.
I tell you what, you show pictures of you with long hair, and I will show you a picture of me with a perm. How about that?
I do not want to see anything from you, Shan. Right. In the meantime, we'll move on from wonderful little women must.
Well, we haven't finished yet. We haven't finished yet.
Oh God, you haven't, have you? I thought. I'm sorry. I want to stop this conversation after people have said they want to do something over their own commanders. So I think it's time to move on. That's a little bit too far. So Commander, oh goodness, Noob Dulex or Nub. I've got to be so
Noob
careful.
Deluxe.
I almost said Nub Deluxe, which is just
very magnified.
They are hosting. I'm so sorry, Commander Noob Deluxe, but yeah. You're hosting an event on the 7th of May from 6 in the evening. We'll also put the Discord link in. Saturday, 1800 GMT. It's the Noobs Yearly Eagle event. Location, the Cleve Hub, Aravarate. Basically, bring your own eagle, shoot people, but don't use engineered power plate or guardian tech. Every other module and weapon is allowed, but you can't use the Imperial Eagle. It's strictly pure Eagle fanboys only, or girls. It's a free event for all, no teams. So if you want to have a bit of a dust up in an Eagle, actually, the Eagle, in my opinion, is still one of the most fun ships to fly. Still so underrated, rather. Yeah.
Yeah. So Noob is friends with, as Beetlejuice just said, he's friends with Crash and other people like that as well. So, he's been a member of the community for years. He puts on these things and, a blast is had by one and all. So, if you've got nothing to do I think it's Saturday.
Yeah.
If you got nothing to do on Saturday, do that. I would love to go, but I've got a wedding to go to, so I can't.
Right, gotcha. Well, moving on from there, Commander Britpact has reached out to us to let us know about an on-foot PvP tournament. They've got a PvP conflict zone tournament. Come try your combat skills against other commanders in a competitive and fun atmosphere. In order to accommodate everybody's availability, we'll spread the tournament across several weeks and schedule each match individually to suit all participants. Again, we'll be supplying a Discord link in the show notes. The tournament date is on the 14th of May, and there'll be 3 different combat zone leagues. 1v1 grade 1, 1v1 grade 5, and 3v3 all grades. Each team can have a substitute player when registering in this league, and a team's composition must be final, and you can use grades up to from 1 to 5. Commanders can register on multiple leagues. Commanders can only be part of one team within a league, and no requirements about gears modifications. And very large prizes, 100 million credits per player who wins a league, except for the substitute. Prize pool is 500. Where are they getting the money from for this?
500 million credits. It's probably going to be in platinum or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably platinum on a fleet carrier for it.
So, and according to this, the tournament rules are quite simple. Best of 3 rounds win, except for each league's final match. Best of 5 round. All players will depart together from a Frontline Solutions desk, and for each map, an EOFCC staff member will be present as referee, and they're using live screencasts. So, if you've got a good ground pounding team, then that sounds a bit of a laugh, actually. I was just scared that the Lave Radio team would get absolutely mackered.
It depends the size actually on our team or she's playing against us. If we've got a Psy on our team, we might be in with a chance. I mean, she'd carry the rest of us.
The meta is dual rocket launches on these things, so it might be relatively tricky because I don't have any of those engineered yet. But I'm quite interested. I'm really rather selfishly quite interested in the 1v1s because I think that might be a little bit of fun. But we'll see.
Yeah.
It does look like fun though. It's something a little different, isn't it, in comparison to a lot of the other things that are going on.
But I must admit, the one thing that I am looking forward to is the next one. It's Buckyball race time again on the rocks. Psychic, it's your race. Tell us about it.
So there is a link in the forum post about it. I did go somewhat ever so marginally extra with the graphics and everything for it because it's not like me. I don't normally go extra with things, but it's the on the rocks challenge. It basically involves taking buckyball beer mats to 5 asteroid bases and then flying back with 5 tons of water, basically. And it starts on Saturday, which is my birthday, and it's running until the following Sunday. The thing with this one in particular is we have an equalizer on the unlimited race. So it's still the regulation Cobra, as per usual with everything. But on the unlimited race, there is an equalizer, which is based on your ship's jump range. So whatever your ship's jump range is will give you either a reduction in your overall time or an addition to your overall time. That Osric worked out when he first ran this race. I'm only here rerunning it, but it's really, really fun. And what it can do in that case is we might see maybe the Epiphus no and the Psychic yes Corvettes raising higher up the leaderboard. They won't, but rising maybe a little bit higher up the leaderboard than they were for the last one because they couldn't fit through the tunnel. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good race. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my! This time, hopefully, I'll be able to do a little better than 20 something. Yes. Now, you've also put out calls for flight assist, haven't you?
Yeah, well, Flight Assist, we posted on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I realised that I've not been on. I would like to spread the wealth here. We are after some commander submitted screenshots. So we're working on a project at the moment that is due for release towards the end of May. We're working on a project, but it requires a fair amount of commander screenshots, and we would love anyone to submit some of their favorite screenshots, however many they wish, and we will use them, obviously credited. We're not going to take your stuff and not use it, but and not credit you for it. But if you would like to be included on them, you can tag Flight Assist on Twitter. At flightassist_ed, or we have the Flight Assist Discord, which is discord.io/flightassist, and you can pop them in the pictures folder there. And I very much appreciate it. Thank you kindly.
Excellent. Right. Well, we are going to leave the end of that at the moment. There is some sad news about the end. The Galactic Mapping Project has gone into what they call maintenance mode. The team behind it have felt exhausted by the experience and have decided to call it a day, and also so has the Distant Worlds team. I think they announced that last month. Both of these things were covered in the Obsidian Ant video this week. It's a shame to see these guys go, but they were using their own time, and if they're not happy with it, then yeah. Chan, just quickly.
Yeah, I just want to thank the Distant Worlds and the Galactic Mapping Project people for all the work they put in. I mean, for any prospective explorer, it's still an amazing resource to be able to use. So I'm pleased they've sort of kept it up and going. So thank you for that. And to be fair, I do understand why they decided to call it a day. 7 years is a long time out of people's lives to do something. And sometimes it's just kind of like you think, well, I want to change. So I want to say thank you very much to those guys, and it's been appreciated.
Vampire? No. Get lost. Anyway, sorry.
Wait, did you audition for Twilight, Colin?
It looks like a Twilight audition.
That was 20 years before even Twilight was thought of.
Yeah. Unless you want Norman to go off and share these, which I don't think any of us do, we should probably move swiftly on.
No, I don't think we want Norman to share them at all, do we, people? Definitely we don't.
Well, no, we don't, because I know you've got your end to come up with as well, Shan.
Yeah,
I've got to find it. I've got 200 gigs worth of photographs to go through. So
this is why you index things.
Anyway, I think we shall move on to the shoutouts before everything gets extremely silly. We've had a message.
Wait, what?
We've had a message from Commander Ned McReady, who was the character that we thought was the only person fighting Thargoids in Lembas. He says, while it seemed I was fighting them alone, it's entirely conceivable I had help in the half hour of daily shut-eye I succumbed to between shifts, something which I evidently castigate myself. I should also confess that while I always answer the call to arms, sometimes the answer is no when the call is defeat the Hydra threat. I have found this particular spiky beast to be just beyond the limit of my scarab control skills. I know this is unacceptable and bound to improve the only way I know how, by putting more petals and stealing more hearts. So, fair play to Commander Ned McReady. Next call out is our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcast on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you want the audio, go for radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. Giving shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, which have appeared over the last year. So hello to Alagrab Canon Podcasts, Elitecast, Fatherhood Podcast, Flight Assist, guard frequency, loose screws, squeaking fuel, and system chat. And for those that want a literary discussion about sci-fi and fantasy books, please subscribe to the Data Slate podcast, which was created by Station Commander Alan Stroud. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd just like to thank everybody who's chipped in the Twitch chat and the in-game commanders. Who have we got then, Ben?
We've had quite a few people actually tonight. Let me go and find them. So we've had Mac Winston Miggles. He's just gone now. I've lost him now. I need to find Mac Winston Miggles. Commander Mage Hand Sack Tap. Say that one very carefully. And Mother 666 has been floating around with us, and we're now in Novus, Colin, by the way.
Yes, and I saw the I saw the notification. I just need to sort everything out.
Yes, I will also apologise for actually sounding slightly Scottish this evening. I made the mistake of talking to Norman earlier, and he brought my accent out a wee bit.
I still think you sound more Geordie than Scottish sometimes.
Jesus. Well, I'm East Coast rather than West Coast, but yeah, that's worrying.
It's actually. Right. Moving on from there, we'll also say special thanks to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who we have used their music in the show. Has anybody got any final business before I quickly shout us out?
I do actually, if that's okay, Colin.
Mm-hmm.
We've been given some lovely stickers for the Discord server by the High Wake, and he did go off and give us a poo emote or a poo sticker for the Discord server, which is hilarious actually, as is all of the High Wake stuff. So anyone looking at the High Wake, anyone looking for fun stuff to look at the High Wake stuff because it's cool.
Okay, psych it.
Not Elite, but Warhammer related. Also coming from Frontier Foundry, that stream, that thing. There are some content creators and some Twitch streamers specifically on the Tone of Drops that have got exclusive drops that are only happening tomorrow with the preview day on the Warhammer 40k stream. If you are after, I don't know exactly what the drop is yet, but from 2 p.m. tomorrow, you have to watch a Warhammer 40k stream for 2 hours, and you'll get there is a drop for it. If you are interested in that game, I know there's a little bit of a crossover between Elite and some of the Warhammer players. I know quite a few different people who are into both. So if you're interested, you can watch a stream for 2 hours and then go and join the Frontier stream. Because let's face it, that's going to be late as well. So
Lovely. And finally, Shan, you've got some other business quickly.
I just wanted a special request for the High Wake for their amazing pictures. I think we need a Magna Pants image.
I'm just being obsessed with pants. It's
It
unhealthy.
went from llamas to pants, is what it did. And I don't know what to read into that.
Pants.
Sorry, alpacas to pants.
Yeah, you've got to get it right because, you know.
Can we get back to wearing Magna pants?
They'd have to be wearing 2 pairs of Magna Pants, though, Ben.
This is always one of these funny things. That's another story.
If you wear one inside out, then you're repulsive.
Oh God.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening to Lave Radio.
I thought that was quite good. I really did. Never mind. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can email info@laveradio.com. Hit us up at facebook.com/laveradio. Tweet us at Lave Radio. You can join our Discord server by going to discord.io/laveradio. We also have a TeamSpeak server where commanders like to hang out and chat, and you can find that at teamspeak.laveradio.com. Do get in touch if you've got any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com. So thanks to Ben, thanks to Psykit, and thanks to Shan. And special thanks goes to today's tech specialist, Commander Ventura. So until next time, commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
The journalist Jade Sanderlin of Vox Galactica was recently invited to conduct rare public interviews with the 3 admirals in charge of the task forces that are fighting back against the Thargoids. We'll hear from Admiral Maxton Price of the Federation and Admiral Rachel Ziegler of the Alliance. But first, Jade Sanderlin interviews Admiral Henry Paul Atherton of the Empire.
This is Jade Sanderlin reporting for Vox Galactica. I am sitting with Admiral Henry Paul Atherton of the Imperial Navy. Thank you for agreeing to this interview, Admiral.
Oh, please, call me Henry.
I'd be delighted to. This is a very impressive ship, Henry.
Some might say majestic. Yes, the Succession is a wonderful vessel.
How long have you commanded her?
Several years now. It has been an honor to have my name listed on the Succession's exemplary service record.
You were promoted to Admiral only 3 years ago. Does that change the personal dynamic with your crew at all?
Well, they salute a little faster, I suppose. Happily, I enjoy a strong relationship with my officers, so they took the change fully in stride.
Let's talk about Novus. I understand that the Imperial Navy has deployed a fleet here at Salvation's request.
That's correct.
Emperor Orissa recently resumed her duties following an extended absence from the throne. Having now surely been briefed on Salvation's work, does the Emperor endorse Salvation?
If the Emperor had objections, her navy would not be in Novus.
What are your objectives in the system?
Well, in case it has gone unnoticed, there is a major Thargoid invasion occurring here. It is our duty to protect civilian populations and prevent the loss of strategic assets.
I'm pleased that you mentioned civilian lives first. Does Salvation share this approach?
Almost certainly. Why else would he invest so much effort into his marvelous superweapon if not to protect people?
Some have claimed that Salvation prioritizes victory over safety.
Jade, dear, they are the same thing. The cost of war is human lives, and the Thargoids extract a heavy toll. Every invaded system, every burning starport, every ambushed convoy, every ship lost to hyperspace. We have repeatedly driven the Thargoids back from our space, but the wretched things keep returning. That cost grows each day. Salvation's superweapon has proven effective at wiping Thargoids from entire systems at a stroke. If Salvation calls that victory, while you and I call it saving lives, then I'm comfortable with the difference in perspective.
Thank you for elaborating. Let's take a break. We'll be back after these messages.
Vox Galactica.
Welcome back. I'm here with Admiral Atherton of the Imperial Navy. Henry, I wanted to get your thoughts on Aegis. Has the disbandment of that organization had any effect on the anti-Thargoid efforts?
Yes, I would say that's a fair assessment.
In what way?
Aegis defense pilots were skilled at engaging Thargoid ships. That experience was valuable to the younger pilots defending Imperial territory.
Are you disappointed that Aegis is gone?
I think so. Yes, despite Aegis's faults, and it certainly had those, the initiative achieved much over the years. Also, Albert Tesreau is a delightful individual. Have you had the pleasure?
No, I have not spoken with Professor Tesreau. I hope to soon, though.
She has worked as hard as anybody to improve our understanding of the Thargoids. That dedication was reflected in Aegis's work. Poorly managed, it may have been, but it was certainly not poorly led.
Did you follow the news of the Alexandria wreckage discovery in recent months?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any comments to share?
The loss of the Alexandria is tragic, of course. A ghastly turn of events.
Has there been any attempt to identify the perpetrators?
Not to my knowledge, but then I am not an intelligence officer.
The Alexandria's logs suggest Aegis's efforts were undermined by other parties, though.
Perhaps, but that event was not the sole reason for Aegis's disbandment. What's done is done. Our focus rests firmly on what is yet to do.
Which brings us back to Salvation.
Indeed it does. The Imperial fleet will provide Salvation with the time required to deploy his superweapon by engaging the Thargoid forces in this system. The people of Novas will see firsthand how effective Salvation's methods can be. I believe that this war has an end in sight.
I truly hope so. Thank you for your time, Admiral. From the INV Succession in Novus, this is Jade Sanderlin. Stay safe out there.
Vox Galactica. Vox Galactica.
My name is Jade Sanderlin, reporting for Vox Galactica. I'm here with Admiral Maxton Price on board the FNS Amphion in the Sosong system. I was very impressed with the tour of the ship prior to our interview, Admiral.
Can't say I'm surprised, Miss Sanderlin. Is this your first time on a Farragut-class battlecruiser?
Yes, it's one of the reasons I was so excited that my interview request had been granted. The Amphion just as impressive as I'd hoped.
That's gracious of you to say. Of course, the Farragut-class vessels value performance over aesthetics. It's a lesson our Imperial friends would do well to learn one day.
I take it then that you consider yourself utilitarian.
In military matters, what other philosophy is there? A sleek ship will turn heads and attract investors, but when something dangerous enters your space, most soldiers would choose a powerful response over a pretty one.
Which brings us to the current conflict in this system. The Federal Fleet has been asked to contain the Thargoid threat while Salvation prepares his anti-Xeno superweapon.
And I have no doubt that we will succeed. Federal military power is as strong as it's ever been. Funding provided by the Hudson administration over the past 7 years has allowed us to expand and modernize our fleet. It's a pleasant time to be an admiral.
I presume that you are in favor of Salvation's work.
Wholeheartedly. His results speak volumes to a man like me. The anti-Xeno superweapon has incredible range, a devastating impact on Thargoid craft, and is harmless to our own ships. What's not to like?
Aside from independent studies by the engineer Ramtab, we have very limited information about the weapon. We also know nothing about its long-term effects on human physiology. Do you think there's any risk to the public?
Let me ask you a question, Miss Sanderlin. Do you think this hypothetical health risk poses a greater danger to the general public than a Thargoid fleet crawling through a populated system?
No, but...
No, it does not. I've seen what the Thargoids are capable of. It's impressive, it's scary, and it results in considerable loss of life, if not dealt with quickly. Salvation has proven he can achieve significant victories for an entire system. Timid hand-wringing over the future is fine with me once we've secured a future in which to do so.
Let's take a break for a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Vox Galactica.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm here with Admiral Price of the Federal Navy. We were just talking about Salvation's contributions to the Thargoid War. Do you believe he is a true replacement for Aegis?
Absolutely. Aegis hasn't been a factor in this conflict for some time. I've viewed them as an auxiliary force at best, a hindrance at worst.
Could you elaborate on that?
Where would you like to begin? Perhaps with the lack of concrete results for several years, or the over-reliance on independent pilots to fight their battles for them. Maybe the loss of the Alexandria and the valuable Guardian artifacts it carried.
The Alexandria was sabotaged.
Whatever the method, the outcome was the same. Poor decisions and bad leadership led to the Alexandria's loss. Look at the chief military liaison for Aegis, Aiden Tanner. The man tried to forcibly invade Salvation's allies over some wild conspiracy theory about illegal research. That's the kind of leadership we're talking about.
Aiden Tanner was formerly an admiral of the Federal Navy.
Never liked the guy. Bought into his own hype a little too much. Now he's in custody while a judge decides how long he'll spend in jail. The Federal Navy is better for it.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, Admiral. Before we wrap up, I was wondering if you'd asked for command of the fleet here in Sosong.
I did, yes.
May I ask why?
I felt the defense of Sosong was a high priority task and wanted to oversee matters personally.
This isn't the first time you've taken part in a Thargoid-related operation.
No, it isn't. At this stage of the war, any officer who lacks experience with Thargoid vessels is doing a disservice to the people they lead.
In 3302, you ordered Farragut-class battle cruisers to the Merope system soon after the discovery of Thargoid barnacle sites. It was claimed that independent vessels exploring the area were fired upon.
Claimed incorrectly, but yes.
It was reported that the JAG would open an inquiry into those claims, but no further details were ever released. Can you share the outcome of that investigation?
If the findings were worth a damn, you'd have heard about it. And if a crime had been committed, maybe I'd be sitting alongside Aiden Tanner in a jail cell. But instead, here I am, doing what I do best, protecting us from the Thargoids. Does that answer your question?
It sure does. Thank you for your time, Admiral Price. This has been an enlightening conversation.
I'm sure it has, Miss Sanderlin. I'll have someone escort you to your shuttle now.
That's kind of you. From the FNS Amphion in Sosong, this is Jade Sanderlin for Vox Galactica. Stay safe out there.
Vox Galactica. Vox Galactica.
This is Jade Sanderlin, reporting for Vox Galactica. I am here with Admiral Rachel Ziegler of the Alliance Defense Fleet. I'm pleased to have this opportunity to speak with you, Admiral.
You're welcome.
We're on board the Celote Charm, which is currently stationed in the Didio system. 2 days ago, a large Thargoid force arrived here and began attacking human ships and ports. There are reports that Salvation has asked your fleet, and those of the other superpowers, to hold the Thargoid force at bay until the...
Let me clarify your question before you finish it. My priority is the safety of the billions who call Didio home. We're not here to keep the Thargoid forces occupied. We're here to defeat them.
Understood, Admiral. Salvation has asked for time to prepare his superweapon, though.
Yes, he has. But the Alliance does not operate with the assumption that Salvation will deliver on his promise.
Do you support Salvation's methods? Critics have suggested he endangers lives by using a powerful weapon that has not been independently assessed by experts.
Whether I support or do not support Salvation is immaterial. The fact is, on 2 previous occasions, the superweapon has eliminated Thargoid fleets from entire systems. Rejecting such a powerful device would be unwise. Still, I think the question of risk is wholly appropriate. Military and political figures alike must not become complacent or over-reliant on Salvation's technology, particularly when we know so little about it.
Is that ambiguity a concern for the Alliance?
It should be a concern for everybody. So far, Salvation has acted in our best interests, but a weapon that powerful could be considerably dangerous if recalibrated to damage human technology. Imagine what the NMLA could have done with such a device.
Terrible things, no doubt. But your fleet in Didio could be seen as a tacit endorsement of Salvation by Allied leadership, regardless of your personal views.
As I said, Salvation's results are highly impressive.
Let's hope they remain so. We'll take a short break. Join us after these messages.
Vox Galactica.
Welcome back. I'm here with Admiral Ziegler of the Alliance Defense Force. I want to touch on the recent dissolution of the Aegis Initiative. Has that decision had any impact on the Thargoid War, in your view?
From a logistical standpoint? No, not really. Aegis vessels have been repurposed by skilled pilots. I know of several prominent colleagues who are displeased, however.
Can you elaborate on why?
Aegis research provided several notable contributions to the war effort. For example, meta-alloy studies gave us safe methods of storing Thargoid artifacts. Decontamination limpets increased ship survivability during Thargoid combat. Aegis also played a key role in the safe development and distribution of Guardian hybrid weapons technology. It remains to be seen who will lead such efforts now.
Critics have argued Aegis was poorly managed and achieved less than expected given the resources available to it.
Critics are going to focus on the negatives. That's why they're called critics. I'll bet you a Kobe beef supper these people have never encountered a Thargoid vessel in person.
Are you referring to the political aspect of Aegis disbandment? You've previously spoken out against decisions made by the Alliance Assembly.
Only the very poor decisions.
Does the end of Aegis fall into that category?
No, I don't believe so. The decision to end Aegis is understandable given the evidence presented in the Bauman report, even if I do not personally agree with it. My perspective has always been one of security. The ADF is a quickly mobilized fleet, but we lack the resources of the Federal and Imperial navies. Aegis improved the Alliance's ability to defend itself from a prolonged Thargoid invasion.
Sirius Corporation has offered to fulfill that role for the Alliance.
Yes, well, Sirius went about it very poorly.
Liang Rui has since recognized the lack of approval from the Assembly and appears keen to make amends. Does that sway your opinion at all?
I have no doubt that Sirius Core would improve the strength of the ADF long term, but let us not pretend that Mr. Yongrui's interest in the Alliance is altruistic. We'll see what he wants in return soon enough, I expect.
Admiral Ziegler, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Good luck in the coming conflict.
Well, thank you.
From the Salute Charm in Didio, this is Jade Sanderlin for Vox Galactica. Stay safe out there.
Vox Galactica.